I lived in an alley where the streetlights always looked tired, glowing a dull yellow like old memories that refused to fade. The air smelled like cheap alcohol and cigarette smoke. Laughter echoed through the narrow walls, but none of it ever sounded real. People assumed women like me got used to that life quickly. They were wrong. My name is Lam Ann, 23 years old. Not beautiful, not unforgettable, just someone you might glance at and think, she looks okay, before walking away. The first day I stepped into this world, I cried until my throat burned raw. But my father was lying in a hospital bed, surrounded by bills thicker than any textbook I had ever owned. Some roads, you walk them even when you hate every step. At first, I kept explaining to customers that this was temporary, that I wasn't really the person they imagined. Eventually, I realized nobody cared. They didn't want explanations. They wanted a role, so I gave them one. I learned to smile in front of mirrors, learned to hold eye contact with strangers without trembling, learned how to pretend nothing touched me. But every night, after wiping off my makeup, I still avoided looking at my own reflection for too long. One rainy evening, the manager told me, "There's a new client. Difficult, but he pays well." I nodded. High payment, more medicine for my father. What I didn't know was that night would be the moment my life quietly shifted in a direction I could never undo. He sat in the corner of the room, half his face hidden in shadow. Dark suit, straight posture, eyes as cold as glass. When I walked in, he looked at me from head to toe. Not like a man judging beauty, but like someone inspecting an object.
What your name?
And
That's it?
I stayed silent. Real name or fake name, it didn't matter to people like him. That night, he didn't cross any lines, but his words were sharper than knives.
How long have you been doing this? Long enough to stop feeling ashamed?
I smiled faintly, not because I was strong, but because I was too tired to react. Before he left, he said something that lingered in my chest longer than it should have.
You're just like the rest? Anyone with money can have you.
He came back again and again, but each time felt like a test. Sometimes he made me wait for hours just to exchange a few cold sentences before leaving. Sometimes he gave unreasonable requests just to see how far I would go. I knew he wasn't there because he liked me. He was there to prove I was exactly what he believed. One evening he asked,
Do you ever feel disgusted with yourself?
Yes, I answered honestly. He paused, surprised. But I've gotten used to the feeling, I added. For the first time, his eyes softened just a little. Truthfully, I was different from many others around me. I didn't chase extra money, didn't try to seduce anyone, didn't beg clients to return. I only did enough to survive, but I never told him that. I was tired of proving I wasn't as terrible as people thought. One night, he placed a large stack of money on the table.
I want to see how far you're willing to go.
I pushed it back toward him. Keep it. His brows tightened.
Don't you need money?
I do, I said quietly, just not that much. For a brief second, something flickered in his eyes, then vanished behind coldness again. Not long after, everything fell apart. During an argument, he said words that made the entire room fall silent.
You think you're different? In the end, you're still selling yourself.
I didn't cry, I didn't argue. I just felt something inside me break quietly. That night, I left. No goodbyes, no explanations, no trace. Just a small suitcase, and a heart that had learned how to gather its own broken pieces. I thought leaving the city would help me forget him. But I didn't know the moment I disappeared was the moment he started looking for me.